What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, just another PokeTuber, coach of your Piedmont Triad Kickers, coming at you today with our draft analysis for the NBBCL, so the Nova Bacon Battalion Champions League. So this is just the same league as the NBBL, but since they're I'm guessing since Champions is in the name, that means going forward they're going to be doing their drafts primarily on Champions. So they did a bit of a rebranding. This is also the draft league we just won not too long ago with our Lurantis team. So um, hopefully we can give a good showing because I've never done VGC, because this is going to be a VGC draft, just to let you guys know. I've never done a VGC draft before, so this is definitely going to be a learning experience. So in this draft, we were given 110 Pokemon. I said 110 Pokemon. That actually would be pretty nice, even though it's practically the whole decks in Champions, right? We were given 110 points to draft 9 to 11 Pokemon. It'd be really nice if I had a draft that had 110 Mons on it. Like having all those options, that'd be pretty nice. We were giving 30 points to choose 2 to 3 Mega Captains. So, this is Champions, so we don't have Terra Captains, but we have Mega Captains. At least until Terra comes back, which I'd imagine it eventually will. I mean, it was in the preview. This league is going to be a 7-week season plus playoffs. So, because it is like early. So, let's, not like go full 9 weeks yet, right? Upload is not required, but the fact that I'm making this draft analysis, obviously that means we're going to be uploading. I got 7th in the draft order, and we're playing a lot of familiar names like Vinny, Mr. TJP, Sinister, Goki Gamer, Twisted Games, Wreck-It Mike, Cast the Weave, Necro, Stevo, Zach Mander, Pup, and Horizon. Basically, this is the first time ever where I can look at a list and be like, oh yeah, I've literally played everybody on this list before. And I know that Pup in particular has recently won a VGC draft, if I'm not mistaken, so I know he's definitely some competition to look out for. And regardless, everyone on here is like competition to look out for because, like, I know like Zach Vander, Twisted Games, TJP, like I've seen these guys play doubles a little bit before, so I know they're pretty good at it. And then Wreck-It Mike is just a really good competitor, so I'd imagine he'll be good at this. The other guys I'm not really too familiar with, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna, definitely bring the heat like everybody else. So I've gone over the rules, I've gone over the draft order, so I guess the only thing that's left to do is to get into, what we decided to draft. So since this is my first time doing a VGC draft, first time doing a Megas draft, I didn't know if it was better just to get like a really strong Pokemon like round 1 that didn't that wasn't a Mega, or just to go for like a strong Mega first. I decided to go with the latter. So for our round 1 pick, we decided to pick up Littlefoot, the Mega Meganium. Excuse the white background on like the little stat spread thing. At the time of recording, Smogon hasn't really updated to include the new Megas, so I can't really use the little screenshots I've been using from that. But at least it tells you like what goes on with Meganium after it Megas. So after it Megas, it gets a plus 60 boost to its special attack. So that's one reason it's like so hyped, because now it has 143 special attack, so it's gonna be hitting pretty hard, as well as getting a sizable boost to its bulk. 15 to its defense and 15 to its speed up, so it's a lot bulkier, it hits harder. The speed does not get a lot faster, but in doubles there's like a lot of redirection. There's also like tailwind and electro web, so there's ways to give Meganium the speed advantage. And then it has a really cool ability called Mega Soul, which basically means no matter what the weather condition is, it doesn't even matter there's a Cloud 9 Pokemon on the field. I don't think it even matters if Terapagos is on the field, because you remember how if you remember how Terraform Zero works, But basically, no matter what the conditions are on the field, Meganium always attacks as though it is in harsh sunlight. So if I click Solar Beam, the rain could be up. We still only need to, we don't have to charge. Snow could be up. We click Weather Ball, it's still gonna be a fire type Weather Ball. We get Dazzling Gleam, which does spread damage in VGC, which from what I've been told is pretty good because you get to attack multiple opponents at the same time. It can also heal with Synthesis. Meganium's it's mainly gonna be like a slow, it's not slow, but it's gonna mainly be like a bulky, really strong special attacker for the team. And I'm really excited to use it because Meganium has been bad for a very long time. So the fact that now it could potentially be good and have a chance to use it and show how good it is, I'm really loving the opportunity to do that. But yeah, that is Meganium. It costed me $15. So yeah, you're expensive, buddy. You better pull your weight. Next on the team roster is a Mon that if you've watched VGC, you know this Mon is good. It's the stapler. So for the first time in a long time, we are picking up Archaeudeze, the Archaeudon, who costed me $17. So boy, you better pull your weight, because dang, you're expensive. But I mean, Archaeudon, first of all, he's just a bulky masterpiece. 130 defense, 90 HP, 65 spit F, which leaves a lot to be desired. But I know from experience, if you invest into that 65 spit F with the rest of his natural bulk, like you kind of don't notice that he's that frail on the special side. This thing is not really designed to be like a fast special attacker. It's more so designed to be like a bulky special attacker. It gets stamina, so you touch me, it doesn't matter what kind of move you hit me with, as long as it's a move that touches me and does damage, I'm going to get a defense boost. And this mon can easily snowball. And by the fact that my first two picks are Meganium and Archaeudon, you guys can probably already guess like what archetype of team I'm aiming for too. Archaeudon is mainly known for clicking like electric shot and body press. He doesn't get body press anymore in champions, unfortunately, but it has not affected his viability that much, because he still gets fighting coverage for things like King Gambit, which is really popular, but mainly just a Draco electric shot guy, really bulky. um, and this is one of those mons that if you don't have a way to like kill him quick, he can easily just snowball games. So yeah, that is Archaeudon here on the team to be a really strong offensive piece. So next on the team roster, like I said, you guys can probably guess the archetype that we're aiming for. So let's just go ahead and rip the rug from up under you, I guess. We got my bubby, the Politoed. So as you can probably imagine by this point, Pelipper was already taken, and I didn't really think Pelipper was going to make it back to me anyway. And oh yeah, but I didn't mention this, by the way. This is so this season of NBBL is still it's a team format, just like the last season was. So me consulting my teammates, because they know more about VGC draft than I do, they just told me, oh, by the way, I should probably mention that my teammates are Zach Mander and Goki Gamer. So when consulting these guys, they made it. They tell me if I'm going to draft Weather, I should get the Abusers and then the Setter. So we didn't go early Pelipper, but we ended up getting Politoed, who I think is still pretty cool. So Politoed, unlike Pelipper, doesn't get he doesn't get Tailwind and Wide Guard, which is what makes Pelipper so popular. But it does get other cool moves, like you get Icy Wind for speed control, you get Weather Ball, which you can take advantage of with the rain he's setting, because he does get Drizzle. Politoed has really good natural bulk, like 90 HP, 75 defense, 100 spit F. Like if you invest into its bulk, like this thing can definitely take hits, and it can also dish them back out pretty well with 90 special attack. It's not the highest thing in the world, but it does do decent damage into most things. He also gets Helping Hand, which can be really good for my offensive guys, like giving them a boost to their power. Not to mention, whenever we play Tyrannitars or Charizards who can reset their weather, we can just run Rain Dance or something. This guy also gets Encore, which can be really good in doubles. Politoed is mainly just here to be a supportive piece. He gets a lot of support. His supportive move pool is pretty good. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't have preferred having Pelipper on the team, but we're going to take our Bubby and we're going to do really good with him. Next on the team roster is another Mon who's mainly here to be supportive, because Champions has limited items, so without the wide lens, this guy kind of can't do his thing. But that doesn't mean he can't do his thing for real, because next on the team roster we have the one, the only, the family of four, Maushold, the Fantastic Four. And I'm just now realizing it's kind of hard to see him on his white background, ain't it? But anyway, we got our shiny Maushold, the Fantastic. Oh yeah, by the way, these are the nicknames I'm using for the season. So my shiny Maushold is nicknamed Fantastic Four. He gets the ability Friend Guard, which basically means anytime he's on the field, the ally Pokemon, and I want to say Maushold included, takes 25% less from hits than they would. If not, I know at least the partner mon takes 25% less damage. Maushold might not get that. He might not be blessed with that. This guy is mainly here to be a follow me Pokemon, because you can just follow me, redirect, while other Pokemon set up or kill stuff. And despite Maushold's bulk being straight up pitiful with 74 HP, 70 defense, 75 spit F, from using him in practice, he can actually possibly survive a whole turn, maybe 2 turns, which I found kind of crazy. You do have to really invest into the bulk, but at the same time, you also have to remember that follow me is priority, so you don't need to invest into speed to make it like do good. And he does get other like good utility moves like Super Fang, Encore, Taunt, after you, which is really good with the speed he has. If we need to reset our weather, he gets rain dance. Like there's a lot of things Mousehold can do. And then also, pop bomb into our Chaudon can be really good too. Like we don't get the body press, but at least we can boost our defense and not like have to worry about something killing us on the other team, right? But yeah, that is Mousehold. Next on the team roster is a Mon. So we just went with a couple of support Mons. So now I want like a more offensive piece. So for the next round, we decided to pick up Aegislash, who is our Ghost Steel type on this team. Stance changes his main ability, so basically, for those who aren't familiar with Aegislash, you see his attack and special attack. They're really pitiful. When he attacks, his defense and SpDef take the place of those stats. And when he goes on defense, they just flip back. So basically, when we're attacking, we have 150 offenses, and when we're defending, we have 50. And actually, now that I think about it, I think this is outdated. I think it's actually 140 defenses because I think he got nerfed. This might be a picture from like Sun and Moon. I'm pretty sure it's actually 140. So excuse me for that typo. But anyway, this guy was $14, so you definitely better pull your weight. But he's here to do a few things. He does get wide guard, which I feel like my team needed, and that's really good. He gets stance change, so that's his protect. This thing hits really hard. It also has priority, and it has ways to hit the mons that would resist its stabs, which I also really like. So you can't really wall this thing, and if you let this thing set with a sword stance, it's kind of just GG's if you have no way to kill it like immediately. And then with the offense we have on the team, like Meganium, like for example, Meganium and this guy kind of just pair really well together, like as a team offensively, because yeah, get the idea. But that's just an example. There's more ways we want to use Aegislash though. But yeah, that is Aegislash, mainly here to be an offensive piece, and also I just like that he gives us access to wide guard. Next on the team roster, if you guys have watched VGC, y'all know that Intimidate is like really popular. Not to mention that we do need a second Terra Captain, Mega Captain. As you guys have probably noticed, we only have Meganium at this point. So if I haven't already given it away, our next round pick was none other than Miss Fish, the Mega Gyarados, because we nicknamed our shiny red Gyarados Miss Fish because we have a Basculegion named Mr. Fish, so she's Miss Fish. So when Gyarados Mega Evolves, it gains, let me remember, if I remember correctly, it has 100 SpDef before Mega Evolving, so you go from 100 to 130. It has 79 defense, if I'm not mistaken, so you go from 79 to 109, so that's 40, 30, and I'm assuming its attack stat is 125 then. Because you don't get HP, its speed is literally the same, and I don't think it gets a special attack boost. So I'm pretty sure it gets a 30-point boost to its attack stat, a 40-point boost to its defense stat, and then a 30-point boost to its SpDef stat. So this mon basically gets to hit a lot harder, and then it's also a lot bulkier. Gyarados already has really good SpDef, and then because of Intimidate and your boost in defense, basically you're probably not getting one-shotted by anything or two-shotted by anything that's not super effective. Let's put it like that. When it Mega Evolves, it goes from Intimidate to Mold Breaker, which I have found can be situationally good, so that's really nice. And this thing can function as a setup sweeper, and because we have mons like Mousehold with Follow Me, it kind of enables us to be able to set this guy up. Not to mention we have offensive mons like Meganium, Archaeodon, and Aegislash that you can't just sit there and ignore. So there's going to be opportunities to set this guy up because like you can't ignore these other offensive mons that are right beside it. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, Gyarados is mainly here to, it gives me an Intimidator. It gives me a setup sweeper as well as just giving me a really bulky attacker that I feel like can do really well on this team. So yeah, that is Gyarados. Next on the team roster, we went back to getting some support mons. So for the next round pick, we decided to pick up Saturn the Meowstic. If you guys remember my first draft league run, for those who were there, we used a Meowstic on that team. Granted, that was a singles team, but he's making his Piedmont Triad Kicker return on the VGC team. So we have Saturn. This guy costed me $14. No, he costed me $13 and only had $27 left. So you really better pull your weight because I spent half of my remaining budget on you. But this guy is mainly here to be a prankster guy. We get prankster screens. We get psychic terrain, so we can shut down priority if we need to. Obviously, prankster like Rain Dance, which is really good. We get Fake Out on this guy. Um, yeah, we get T Wave. We get a lot of like just support stuff. Like this guy is just here to be a supportive piece, and that's all there is to it. But yeah, that is Saturn. Next on the team roster is a mon I've never used before in any draft context. Actually, the next three mons I'm about to draft, I have never used in a draft context, but you know, I heard they're good in doubles, so let's see what's up with them. Next on the team roster, we have a rain team, so you know, we should probably draft a mon that has lightning rod, and unironically, this guy fits the team. We're picking up Giovanni, the Rhyperior. I know, base name, right? But anyway, he has Lightning Rod for the ability. This guy has, I mean, he also has Solid Rock, but I don't know how often we'll actually use that. But anyway, this guy has pretty good like physical bulk, 130 defense with 115 HP. The SPDF is downright pitiful, but because his HP stat is so high, if you just invest into the SWIT-F, you kind of can mitigate that. This guy can hit really, really hard, though, because of, like, 140 attack. And then we do get spread moves like Rock Slide and EQ. And because of, like, we have a few flyers, and because of, like, Protect, we can, like, you know, maybe get the EQs off. Rock Slide is also really good. And this guy also just gets a lot of other niche moves that I probably shouldn't mention in this video because people do have to play me at the end of the day. But he's mainly here because I like the lightning rod capabilities, and I do like the spread damage this guy's capable of doing because this thing hits hard as a crap. But yeah, that is Rhyperior. Next on the team roster is another mon I've never drafted before. This is the first time I've even played a game that has it, so yeah. We have Aromatisse, who, I don't know what to expect from Aromatisse. I just know it gets Aroma Veil, which is, it helps the team. I forgot what it does. We also gets Healer, so if, like, any of my mons get status, there's, like, a 50% chance at the end of every turn for the status to go away, something like that. I just know this mon gets, I know I mainly picked this mon up because it gets Trick Room, which could be really good for like Rhyperior. It could be really good for Aegislash. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say she might get Ally Switch, which is really nice. Okay, whenever I drafted this mon, I looked at the move pool, and the move pool had me like, okay, you can join the team. I kind of forgot what the move pool like consists of since then, if I'm being real with you. But hey, that's Aromatisse. I know you're here to set Trick Room. What else you do, we will find out throughout the season. Next on the team roster, last but not least, I wanted to draft... I don't know what I wanted to draft. I wanted to pick up Ariados because I thought like Rage Powder would be really cool, but then one of my teammates wanted it, so I said, okay, you can have Ariados then. We only have 2 points left, and, you know, the only 2-pointer that made sense to my team was this guy, Pidgeot. Let it be known, I do not like Pidgeot. I actually didn't care to have Pidgeot, but, I mean, I don't have Tailwind on my team. Hurricane is really nice in the rain. And if someone brings Sun, he does get Heat Wave, and he also gets U-Turn for pivoting. And his bulk is actually good enough that if you throw a Citrus Berry on him, he can actually live like 2 or 3 turns in a game. You know what, Pidgeot, I'm not your biggest fan, but hey, you're here, and we're gonna use you to the best of our abilities because that's what the Piedmont Triad Kickers do. But yeah, guys, that is my team. If you stuck around for my rambling, you know, I really appreciate you because I know I just start talking sometimes. But yeah, once again, this is my first ever VGC draft. I don't know what to expect from this. This is definitely going to be a learning experience, and I really appreciate you guys for being here for the ride. So without further ado, look forward to look forward to a good season. You know, we're gonna try our best. It's me, my teammates, Goki Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Metachams, and my other teammate, Zach Manner, coach of the Canadian Sarah Legends. If my memory is actually working, I will remember to link their channels into my description, and if you don't mind, please give them a follow. I mean, you know, give them a subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe too. I would definitely appreciate that. But yeah, guys, if you haven't done so already, like I just said, you know, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the team. And until, you know, next time, game 1, peace out.